Tailpipes and Tacos Cruise-In in Katy returns Saturday morning, November 21st, 8 to 11 a.m. This fun and fabulous event attracts the best rides in town. Tailpipes and Tacos is free and everyone is invited. You'll see collector cars, hot rods, customs, magnificent originals, and resto mods all in one place. The Loopy Tortilla Tex-Mex in Katy. Cars from all over Southeast Texas cruise in and show off in a 3-hour friends and family event. Loopy's will have breakfast tacos, coffee, and the best cars, all at one location. The Loopy Tortilla Mexican Restaurant on the Grand Parkway at Kingsland Boulevard, just south of I-10 in Katy. Drag racer, car enthusiast, and Loopy founder Stan Holt brings you Houston's hottest cruise-in, Tailpipes and Tacos, Saturday, November 21st, 8 to 11 a.m. at Loopy's in Katy. The In Wheel Time Car Show will be there too. Get your ride ready, and we'll see you at the Tailpipes and Tacos Saturday morning cruise-in, November 21st, 8 to 11 a.m.
And that's next Saturday.
Is your business or company looking to stand out in a crowded advertising market? Looking to reach the real auto enthusiast? Well, you found it. You're listening or watching In Wheel Time, and so are your fellow enthusiasts. The In Wheel Time Car Show now reaches 500,000, and we can put together a marketing plan that will engage them in your product, business, or service. To get the tires rolling, just shoot us an email to our marketing director, Jeff Zekin. His address is jeff@inwheeltime.com. Texas Truck Works is your go-to truck customizer. From mild to wild lift kits, custom wheels, and steering and handling enhancements to the best personal and commercial wraps, Texas Truck Works delivers. Let Texas Truck Works founder Scott Stevens help you get the most out of your truck or Jeep. Texas Truck Works has decades of customizing experience, including power adders and complete engine swaps. Let the Texas Truck Works team design an upgrade plan that fits your budget. Get truck attitude today at TexasTruckWorks.com.
Hello, everybody. This is the award-winning car talk show In Wheel Time, your weekly go-to all things automotive place, along with Mike Out of This World Mars, King Conrad DeLong, Mr. Jeffrey Zekin. I'm Don Armstrong. So glad that you could join us on this absolutely beautiful Saturday in Houston, Texas. I think high temperature today is somewhere in the low 80s. Got a little cool front coming through tomorrow. The weather's supposed to be nice all week long. Again, you know, the yard needs a little water. I hate to even say it.
Yeah, I know.
Here, when we
turn the sprinklers on, Don.
Yeah, I got lots of those. No, I'm good. But at any rate, we have with us on Zoom right now, is joining us, Mr. Troy Dixon from Houston Performance Driving. And there he is, ladies and gentlemen, with his oh-so-vogue headset. Hi, Troy Dixon.
Good morning, gentlemen. How are you?
And you sounds very professional.
That's right.
Well, we're gonna
got that deep voice.
Well, we're gonna nip that in the bud real quick. Troy Dixon, what the heck have you been up to, sir?
I'm currently booking us 4 first-class tickets to San Francisco.
Going to a restaurant there?
I've got us a VIP table at the Asian SF.
Yes, Asian SF.
And I'm looking forward to it. So everybody get your energy where it needs to be. Put your big boy pants on because we're going in.
Either that or just don't wear. Either that or just don't wear any pants, Troy Dixon. That would be my suggestion.
If you are, wear the leather ones.
We have completely lost.
It sounds like you've been there once or twice. So
yes,
definitely,
I have.
You'll be my well of knowledge to just don't let me slip. Okay.
I wouldn't think of it. I'll take you by the hand and show you the way, the wicked, wicked way.
It's good to know people are listening to the show, isn't it?
Troy Dixon, oh my God, yes. Well, hey man, it's great to see you. I hope that all is well up there in the Woodlands.
Yes, sir. It's going well. Thank you.
And how are things with Houston Performance Driving, sir?
Things are going well. You know, it's like anything right now with COVID. You know, we're definitely feeling the effects of having large gatherings. It's affected most of all of our meets altogether. We do have some starting to come up on the calendar, but, you know, some of the things that we've been doing in the here and now have been sidelined, like our Bombshells meet. You know, a lot of our cruises and things like that, our dyno days have been kind of shelved a little bit, but we've got a lot of those things back on the calendar now. So really, I think here within the next week or two on our calendar on Facebook, you're going to start seeing a lot more events popping up and getting the notifications for those. And then, of course, during the downtime, what we've decided to do is if we weren't hosting our own events, we were going to use our platform to advertise everybody else's events that fit our mold and our base of our group, and just try to get the word out so that way that people that are doing things can probably benefit and get that word out as best we can through our platform.
Well, you know, next week is Tailpipes and Tacos, which would be a great event for you guys to all motor down there between 8 and 11 at the Loopies in Katy. And
yeah, that's a great cruise route because it's right off 99.
That's exactly what I'm thinking.
And there's a lot, you know, Troy's in the Woodlands, but HPD is citywide.
Right.
You know, all the way down to Galveston, all the way out in Katy. So even if the Katy contingent showed up, it'd be a huge number of
HPD
folks
meaning Houston Performance Driving, not Houston Police Department.
Well, I think they have. I think they've had some interactions,
doesn't it, Troy?
They've had some interactions in the past.
Maybe in the old days it did. You know, there was some moments where, you know, we were learning our lessons, but now that we're in our 40s and, you know, we're older and we have families and things like that.
Back when we were young and dumb, we were.
Right. Like I said, but we were lucky, you know, and yeah, it's unfortunate that because HPD was known as a kind of a street racing syndicate, more or less, you know, forum. And that's why we kind of got popular and how we got a lot of eyes on us. But once you get that attention, it can be good and bad. So a lot of the older guys that were the first OGs, the OGs had said, you know, we're kind of getting away. We're kind of going into this dark zone. Let's stay on the straight and narrow, and we can still have fun and do things. We're going to have to use our imaginations, of course, and you know, and regulate things. But at the end of the day, the events are going to be safer and better. And so we started getting into like drag days and track days over at Old Lone Star and HMP and you know, Royal Purple. It's not Royal Purple anymore. I think it's Houston Race Park now.
Houston Race Park.
Yeah, and so we were doing, you know, our midnight 1320, which was a street racing setup, bracket racing. You know, we had pots going for $5,000. You know, it was so fun back then. Had the human starters. You know, it was just good, clean, fun. And what it did was it gave an excitement that the street racers didn't really know about because they thought the excitement was on the street. But when you take the excitement to the track and you put them against other people that have cars, have talent, have driving talent, you're stepping into a whole new world of fun because now you're really finding a narrow corridor of skill sets and everything's coming together in the challenge. And to me, if that's what I think street racers were looking for at the time was a challenge and excitement. But if you can harness that energy into a different way
on the
and
track,
give them something that's better on the track, I think that's where we gained a second notoriety of popularity, and that's why Houston Performance Driving is one of the largest online communities.
Yeah. Do you ever do any cruises? Like going from, for instance, the Woodlands to Katy for a cruise in.
Oh yeah.
And once you get there, you either leave as a group or you leave individually, whatever the case may be.
Sure. We've got several cruises we do, and we've been doing the same cruises for years. I mean, I think we've been doing our South Coast Fun Run to Galveston for probably 10, 15 years almost.
Oh, every bit of that, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, gosh, those were like right around the 2000, right, when that had happened. And so, but those cruises have gotten a little harder because, again, the social media adds to a certain responsibility that, like, we had cruises back then were 100 cars, then it was 300 cars, and we've had cruises that were 750 cars where I'm thinking this is just madness. Now, granted, everybody behaved themselves and we didn't have a lot of issues or anything like that, but just that sheer number of cars on the road going 288 south to Surfside Beach and then coming off the coastal highway.
You hit that toll road down there, that toll bridge, and you got that many cars to try and pass through.
It would attract attention, and not that everybody was misbehaving, but that attention was never good. And usually, I think the guy in the black Corvette that was running up front was the first one everybody got, because you ended up talking to a few DPS officers and Lake Jackson Police Department a few times because you were the leader.
I had to
dove on the grenade.
Yeah, I had to put on my, political persona, and get in there and, kiss babies and steal lollipops.
Political persona? Yeah. You?
Yeah, and, it was good. I hope everybody appreciated the heat I took for them. And because, there were several times I was pulled over and, cops were just trying to figure out what was going on. And they're just trying to do their job, bless them. They don't know. They're getting calls. They see all these cars coming into their town on a Sunday morning. They don't know. So they're going to react. And we just try to, roll with it as best we can, try to enjoy our day as well. Sure. But then we also have our other cruises that go through the North Sam Houston Forest, which are really, really great. Those just go through those, those wooded areas, and it's like straight out of, a video game or a simulator. It's very quiet.
Hey, Troy, how do we find out? How do we find out when you have those cruises scheduled? And
everything we do is turned to Facebook. We used to have our own HoustonPerformanceDriving.com and forum, but unfortunately, with the way technology has moved, the tempo that it's on, it destroyed our forum where it didn't make sense to have it. So everything's on Facebook or YouTube. So we have a YouTube, Houston Performance Driving. You can even search HPD, and I guarantee you on YouTube, we come up before Houston Police Department.
Yeah, I hope so.
Sometimes in shared videos.
Sure. There may be a joint.
Yeah, body cam, little body cam or something.
Right, and it is funny because when we do our meets, because I'm. I always say HPD, and it's Houston Performance Driving because I'm just so used to it for doing it this long. Because we've been doing HPD since 2002. It was such a small group at the time, and it's just escalated. And the reason why it became what it was is because it had a great core group of people.
Yeah, very much so.
Great values, everybody on the same page. But what made it grow was there was a competitiveness in that group. Yes, we're all friends. We all can go out and hang out and have dinner. But at the same time, when it came to our cars, there was a massive competitive tempo. And so everybody, because I remember the days when 500 horsepower was the elite.
That was a big deal.
Then it was 6 and 7, and now you're past 1,000. And that's how, more or less how we met Conrad. Was out running around one night, and, he was out field testing for Cadillac. But anyway, that's a story for a different time.
I was going to say,
I don't work for him anymore.
Yeah, he's turning red over here, even though he don't work for him anymore.
There's a story there, which I don't know we'll have time for. If Don says, Troy, tell the story, obviously. But, but we had been out one night, and we had met Conrad. And so during those times, it was so competitive. And then the group just got bigger. And then so forums go down, Facebook comes up, Instagram comes up, YouTube develops, and then now you've got this plethora of this is what we're doing. Because I remember on the days of Street Fire, where you would just upload your video because YouTube hadn't developed, and Street Fire was the street racing website, and that's where you would go for street racing videos. And yours truly was on there several times in BMWs and Corvettes and whatnot. But now we've gotten past all that.
And actually, with the current level of social media, it's really expanded HPD's reach.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, like I said, we've grown in leaps and bounds. I think we have about 30,000 followers in Houston on our fan page, and I think we have about 10,000 active members on our group. And we do regulate those people. You do kind of have to jump through some hoops, answer some questions, and we try to keep everything Houston or Texas or maybe even somewhat parts of Louisiana based, but it's a great thing. And we're just looking forward to our big Twin Peaks meet coming up soon, and we're working on a South Side meet now. We've been doing a North Side meet in the Woodlands for 6 years. This is going to be our 7th year doing this meet at Twin Peaks in the Woodlands. So now I'm getting because of that. Being so far, we want people on the south side because of our reach. So now we're going to be looking at doing a Webster meet. So every second week there will be a Twin Peaks meet hosted by Houston.
So I need to ask you before we let you go here about the HPD annual toy drive, Christmas toy drive. When is that going to take place?
That is going to be December 12th. That's going to be a Saturday, starting at 11 a.m., going to 2 p.m. at the Twin Peaks in the Woodlands or Shenandoah.
Yep.
And we've been doing that particular toy drive since 2007.
And we know about that Shenandoah Police Department.
Yes. Well, in a way, that's a good thing. Now, maybe not 10 years ago, but now it's good because they're there and you're appreciative that they're there. Because it does keep because of their reputation. It does keep everybody well-behaved and well-mannered. And not that our group isn't well-mannered, but because our group is so big, you can't control everyone.
And, just every once in a while, Troy, the left foot will slip right off that clutch and, it just goes up in smoke and you can't help it.
Right. That's why I go out in third gear, Don.
Okay. Well, I always learn something from you, Troy Dixon, and I really appreciate that.
But the toy drive is just come to Twin Peaks, bring a wrapped new gift to give away.
Wrapped or unopened?
Unopened.
New unwrapped, because we need to be able to identify the toys.
Right.
We need to be able to identify the toys.
Yeah.
So we're looking for toys for boys and girls ages 2 to 12. Naturally, over the past, MD Anderson has been our main benefactor. And so when it comes to that, we look no stuffed animals and no toys that promote violence. So no guns, no swords, no guns. Oh, I said guns twice. But no, military toys are good, like tanks and helicopters, but nothing like swords, axes,
laser,
or
lightsabers.
Right. Yeah. And trust me, I'm the hugest Star Wars fan ever. But also, too, multicultural toys because, it's two genders and everybody's affected by cancer or hard times. So our second benefactors are Harris County and Montgomery County Women's Centers. And as I know, we've been some of their largest donations for the last couple of years for both of those facilities.
Twin Peaks, December 12th. Troy, it's great to talk to you. Thank you so much for joining us. We appreciate it, man.
Thank you, gentlemen.
Thank you.
I'll see you in a little while. We're going to San Francisco, first class.
Hey.
Yes, we are. I'll be wearing my shorts. Bye. Hey, we'd love to hear from you. All you have to do is just shoot us an email. The address is info@inwheeltime.com, and we don't care. Just lay it on us. You like it? Great. If you don't like it, tell us. Okay. Not that we'll change anything, but you get it off your chest, so to speak. All right, time now for This Week in Auto History, and Conrad always has something good for us on auto history time.
Well, in 1926 was the official date that Route 66 was identified as a cross-country highway. Now, I say cross-country, it actually went from Chicago, and from Chicago down south through like St. Louis, Oklahoma City, Amarillo, and all the way out I-10. Here's a map of it. But that was the cross-country route many people took. It has since been retired, but again, I always thought it was a great road, and it's an icon sign that has gone away, but they still sell all of the memorabilia for Route 66. In 1927, the Holland Tunnel between New York City and Jersey City was completed. My grandfather was a surveyor on the Lincoln Tunnel, which was done a little bit later. And he said when he came in from the Jersey side and from the New York side, and when they met in the middle, they were within a dime's width of being exactly right on together as they built these multi-car tunnels going underneath the Hudson River between New York and New Jersey.
You ain't getting anything close to a car through that thing.
No, but that's the start of it. They had tunnels. This tunnel, it's twin tunnels plus an air chamber that they moved air through as well. And they moved 3 million cubic feet of air per minute through those tunnels.
And it's still in operation.
Yeah, they're still in operation. And then in 1946, the Exchange National Bank of Chicago. Here's the automotive tunnel as they're building it, and that would be multi-lanes. And then there's the Lincoln Tunnel is on the bottom, the Holland Tunnel is on the right, and Jersey's all the way over there on the left, but you can't see it. Who cares about Jersey? I'm from New York.
Nobody cares about Jersey.
In 1927, excuse me.
Are you from Jersey? Yeah. I'm from Jersey, too.
In 1946 was the first drive-through bank, and that was the Exchange National Bank of Chicago, and that's since.
What year was that?
1946.
46. I remember my mother going to the first drive-through at the Waukesha National Bank. I just thought that was the coolest thing.
Oh, yeah, very much so. And now, though internet and apps and stuff have kind of slowed it down, still drive-through was the way to do a majority of your banking. And then in 1956, Ford Motor Company decided on the name for their new model, which was the Edsel.
Well, is that him?
That is
He's hot.
that is Edsel Ford. Edsel Bryant Ford, I believe, is his
I
full
think
name.
I saw him at Asia SF in San Francisco.
Okay, and the name of the car line, he actually passed away in 1943, and his son Henry Ford II wanted to memorialize him with that. That car, truly, my opinion, other than the toilet seat front end, was way ahead of its time.
Oh yeah, if you look at the
Horse
stuff that's
collar
on
toilet seat, yeah, very, very much ahead of its time.
You cannot convince me that any part of that car is attractive. You can't convince me.
No. I'm not going to say it was attractive, but I'm going to say the
technology, yeah,
in its day was probably 10 years ahead of its time.
But its ugliness,
that's what killed it.
It killed it. I mean,
yeah. Very much so.
They could have a jet engine in it, but
And then in 1960, this week, Robert McNamara, who is the head of the Ford Motor Company, was named head of the Ford Motor Company for a very short period of time, because about a month after he was named the head of the Ford Motor Company, he went to Washington to become JFK's cabinet member for the Secretary of Defense.
McNamara, yeah, okay.
So, and he functioned as the Secretary of Defense under Kennedy and Johnson, and finally retired in '68. In 1965, the Summers brothers set their land speed record at 409 miles an hour in the Goldenrod. That car was one of the narrowest cars to set a world speed record, and it was a 4 Hemi engines, blown Hemi engines underneath that body, and brought the car wheel-driven to 409 miles an hour. And that record stood for a long time. I think it was just recently beat. But so that was, again, in 1965. In 1978, a stuntman in Georgia driving for the Dukes of Hazzard set their jump to General Lee. This is a picture of and this was in the opening of the Dukes of Hazzard, and that jump was in every show, and it was the only jump that was in every show. The problem with it was they tore up a lot of cars. I think over the length of the series, which was on from 79 through 85, they tore up 300 Dodge Chargers. It's Mike's car review. So if you kind of flip to the next picture, this car, this is what it looked like after the jump. Go ahead and advance to the next one. That's what that car looked like after the jump.
Well,
so
there's no
wasn't surprising. A lot of times they would show the jump just before the car hit the ground, because this was the result, and that's why they tore up so many cars. And then in 1989, Ford bought Jaguar, which I thought was a mistake. And this was the Jaguar that they had released. This didn't come out until 2000. What, 2000?
Looks like a Ford Mondeo.
Well, it was, and it was also the Lincoln LS.
Ugh.
They shared the platform, and then at the time when Ford bought them, they were still
Jaguar.
making. Yes, they did. They ruined them on a number of issues, because in '89 when they bought them, they were still making the XJS. But then this was the next thing out. Now Ford has since vacated Jaguar. In '89. That's what Jaguar was building. In 93, they were building the other one. So that's this week in automotive history.
Quite a week.
Quite a week.
Yeah.
In 2020, we're still in 2020, but the end is near.
Oh Lord, let's hope.
That's a scary thing. The end is near.
In many ways. Okay. I've got a lot of automotive news, and I wanted a little extra time to be able to do all of the automotive news.
That's why I tried to end a little early for you there, Don.
Thank you. So, you looking for a job? Talented? General Motors plans to hire 3,000 employees by the first quarter of next year to accelerate electric vehicle production, hopefully the non-Inferno type, and enhance vehicle software. The additional jobs, many of which are related to GM's proprietary Ultium batteries and EV development, will help GM stick to the new EV standards set by the electric GMC Hummer pickup, which, and I didn't know this, was developed in only 18 months.
Yeah, I didn't realize it was that quick.
18 months, that's huge. Yeah.
But GM's work on the electric platforms has been pretty advanced over the last 10 years, but delivering the Hummer EV that quick is pretty amazing.
The roles will be in engineering, design, and IT, and many of the positions can be had remotely, so you can do it from the comfort of your living room. The GM is more confident in workers' ability to make progress remotely after many employees have worked off-site throughout the coronavirus pandemic. Location won't be a deterrent for the new hires. There you go.
From somebody who doesn't work for GM anymore, good for them. Well, you know, former Nissan chairman Carlos Ghosn.
Oh no, you can't do that.
I'm going to get ahead
of you. Don't
okay.
get that.
There's a couple of pieces to that story, but I'll let you go.
Former Reynolds and Reynolds Company and Houstonian CEO Bob Brockman will remain free on a $1 million unsecured bond while he fights federal charges for tax evasion and wire fraud, according to a judge this past Wednesday. Brockman, 79, was indicted last month on 39 counts that include tax evasion, wire fraud, money laundering, and evidence tampering. Prosecutors say Mr. Brockman created an elaborate offshore scheme over 2 decades to avoid taxes on $2 billion in income.
So if I steal $2 billion, I only have to pay $1 million bond. Sign me up.
Reynolds and Reynolds, the largest privately held provider of dealership management system software and services, is headquartered in Dayton, Ohio, but he lives down in River Oaks.
Well, they have a big complex up off of 290 that is their tech center here in Texas, kind of their call center.
GM is recalling 194,105.1 vehicles in the U.S. because bolts on that horrible start-stop accumulator could be loose or missing, resulting in a transmission oil leak, increasing the risk of a thermal event. The recall vehicles are 2018 to 2020 Buicks, Cadillacs, Chevrolets, and GMCs. Do they have anything else?
No, I think that's everybody.
That's all. Dealer notification started October 29th. Vehicle owners will be notified starting December 14th. If you're one of them,
don't park your car in the garage.
New York study touts marketing power of live auto shows. And I think that it's not a secret any longer that the Houston Automobile Dealers Association and the Houston Auto Show is not going to happen in January. The study said 229 brand additions are made to shoppers' lists as a result of consumers seeing those brands, 229,000, as a result of consumers seeing those brands at the New York Auto Show. Now, you can just take that and bring it to the Houston Auto Show or the LA Auto Show, whatever.
Do the math, yeah.
Do your math. More than half of new vehicle buyer households that attended the New York show said their auto show experience influenced their decision. More than half, according to a study by Foresight Research. The 10-year study of the show analyzed the attendance, demographics, media influence value, and purchase influence of the longtime event. Study also touted the value of auto shows in general. They are ranked first as the most influential marketing channel or media channel, just ahead of digital, according to U.S. Auto Show immersion reports. About 83% of attendees said shopping was their motivation to attend. The average dwell time, or the people that stayed at the show, was 4.75 hours.
And think about how incredible the Houston Auto Show was to feed that theory with the test drives available outside, with the test drives available inside as well. So they were definitely feeding that theory of how influential the car show is on the buyer.
Time for us to take a quick break here on the In Wheel Time Car Show. Stay with us. We'll be back right after this.
The Tailpipes and Tacos Cruise-In in Katy returns Saturday morning, November 21st, 8 to 11 a.m. This fun and fabulous event attracts the best rides in town. Tailpipes and Tacos is free and everyone is invited. You'll see collector cars, hot rods, customs, magnificent originals, and resto mods all in one place. The Loopy Tortilla Tex-Mex in Katy. Cars from all over Southeast Texas cruise in and show off in a 3-hour friends and family event. Loopy's will have breakfast tacos, coffee, and the best cars, all at one location. The Loopy Tortilla Mexican Restaurant on the Grand Parkway at Kingsland Boulevard, just south of I-10 in Katy. Drag racer, car enthusiast, and Loopy founder Stan Holt brings you Houston's hottest cruise-in. Tailpipes and tacos, Saturday, November 21st, 8 to 11 a.m. at Loopy's in Katy. The In Wheel Time Car Show will be there too. Get your ride ready, and we'll see you at the Tailpipes and Tacos Saturday morning cruise-in, November 21st, 8 to 11 a.m. Is your business or company looking to stand out in a crowded advertising market? Looking to reach the real auto enthusiast? Well, you found it. You're listening or watching In Wheel Time, and so are your fellow enthusiasts. The In Wheel Time Car Show now reaches 500,000, and we can put together a marketing plan that will engage them in your product, business, or service. To get the tires rolling, just shoot us an email to our marketing director, Jeff Zekin. His address is jeff@inwheeltime.com. Texas Truck Works is your go-to truck customizer. From mild-to-wild lift kits, custom wheels, and steering and handling enhancements to the best personal and commercial wraps, Texas Truck Works delivers. Let Texas Truck Works founder Scott Stevens help you get the most out of your truck or Jeep. Texas Truck Works has decades of customizing experience, including power adders and complete engine swaps. Let the Texas Truck Works team design an upgrade plan that fits your budget. Get truck attitude today at TexasTruckWorks.com.